everybody. It's Real and Raw, and today we have a special guest, Scott Jones. I'm Lynn Serrano, and who are you?
I'm Brian here. Oh, look at this guy. The one, the only Mr. Liplock. Woo.
Hi, Scott. Thank you.
Look at that picture.
It was freaking me out. I saw myself twice. I didn't know what was going on. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on. This is great.
I'm going to do a couple little intro things here because they're just great.
Got a great show I've been watching. Real and Raw with Lynn and Brian. They do it during the week, and it's really good. Real and Raw. Yeah, I know. It sounds kind of like, but they keep it clean most of the time.
What does really
most
mean?
of the time.
That's outstanding.
Oh my gosh. And then I have something from back in the past.
Scott Jones here, and do you love a green lawn? Do you love a clean lawn, but you don't want to do the work to get there? Well, I'll tell you what, I've got something for you. Every time I go out and rake, I spend more time pulling leaves out of my rake than I do actually raking the lawn. And look what happens. This is a $30 rake, and look where it ends up. One season. I'm tired of it. I don't want it anymore. Have I got the product for you?
Yeah. Wow. He really doesn't like rakes.
Wow, you had to go back a long way for that one.
Man, the way that he threw it and just like simultaneously let it go and the finger pointing, like, that's great.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you find that?
Baby, things stay alive on the internet.
That was a test run. That infomercial was never actually made. I made other ones, but I've never made that one. And,
well, it made my show.
Oh,
clearly.
Oh, well, okay, terrific. Now people know what I really am. Thank you.
Well, nobody's going to look at a rake the same ever
again. No. And that product, by the way, never made it to market and didn't actually work. But it was fun, pretending it did.
Well, okay, enough play around. Welcome, Scott. I'm so glad you're here. I want you to go ahead and take a minute and tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do, and you got the floor. So go for it.
Okay, well, terrific. First of all, I've known Lynn for forever, and we'll get in. We don't want to say how many years, but it's been a long time. And getting to know Brian is fantastic. I love the show you guys have. I am Scott Jones. I have the Addiction Training Center that me and my business partner Karen opened about 3 years ago, and we work with people with addictions, alcoholism, mental health issues. And more importantly, we work with communities, businesses, and families in training them how to deal with addiction when it rears its head. Addiction has become a huge problem. Many people don't know that opioid deaths are through the roof. During the COVID crisis, there's been a 72% increase in the number of deaths in most metropolitan areas. And this is a preventable thing. And most of the time it comes down to somebody recognizing it, saying something, and trying to intervene. So that's what we do. We try to educate people. We have an intervention course. We teach people how to do interventions. We also work locally with a lot of treatment centers and go in and work with the clients directly because they're some of the most amazing people you ever want to meet, people who can conquer addiction and conquer alcoholism and deal with their mental health issues. They become the most fabulous, bright, incredible human beings to spend time with. So hopefully, we can get the word out there and spread it. We also have our podcast room, and we do a lot of podcast shows, Live Out Loud, Spotlight on Addiction and Recovery. We have a lot of different shows. But if you want to learn more about us, you can go to atceducation.com, and it's got everything there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. And thanks again for taking time. Usually Fridays are a super busy day for you, and you carved out a little piece for us, and we really appreciate that. And I love you just for being who you are.
It's terrific. It gave me an excuse to go 120 on 95. So, but I made it.
Scott.
I didn't actually do that. My car wouldn't make it over 60. So
was that knowing that you're in Florida, was that in a car or in a hydrocraft or
that was private helicopter. We all have them down here, right?
Hi, Charles. Thanks for being
up,
here.
Charles?
Oh my goodness. So anyhow, Brian, if you want to explain what we do on Fridays here and we can get
Sure.
started, that would be great.
Sure. So thanks to everybody tuning in, all of our loyal listeners and followers, and anybody catching the replay. Fridays are a fun day that we created several weeks ago. It's all about improv. It's all about being in the moment. And for anybody watching, it's a great way to send you with laughter and your belly hurting because you're laughing because we're embarrassing ourselves for you. So throughout the course of the week that we're talking about love, there was words and phrases that came up and other things known as Lynnisms. That there's only been one outstanding Lynnism that's through the test of time. It's on this little green slip of paper, and all the other ones are from over the past couple weeks. So any word or phrase that is shared, whoever wants to go first for the first couple, Scott will give you the pleasure of answering first, and it's just top of mind awareness. There is no right or wrong answer.
So just whatever my visceral reaction is to the word.
100%.
Okay,
Absolutely.
terrific. Let's hope we don't find any homicidal triggers, but I'm ready.
Now obviously, just like in improv, it's like, the funner the better, or the funnier the better. And there is no right and wrong answers. It's just to have some fun sending everybody off to the weekend. So
fantastic.
All right.
That's why Scott's going to be really good at this. So watch out.
Well, and also though, for everybody watching, there's one thing we want to really keep in mind, okay? And we've been brewing up to it for the past, several days, is that as you notice that Lynn is wearing a red shirt today, okay? So we want to see how much we can match that red shirt in terms of how much blood flushes in her face, okay? So that's the goal, because she has a gentleman on the show that she's known for over 40 years. So, that there's a reason why his name is Mr. Liplock. So just saying, okay. So, wow. Boy, I don't really know. Yeah, we just got to go with this one. So, Scott, the first word I'm going to give you is boing. Boing. That's what it says. Boing. Boing.
Okay.
Did you set this up? I need to know. Did you set this up?
You're live.
This is well, Boeing, certainly it brings up a lot of interesting ideas and some other things. But I mean, I don't even know where you go with Boeing. I figure you're either obsessed with Saturday morning cartoons or porn, or maybe both. It's kind of a universal term, and not something you hear very often.
Okay.
Not something you hear very often. But
now, when I say love and then boing, what comes to mind?
Brian, love it. Come on. Look how red Brian's turning. Can I just say that?
Oh, that's my lighting as we establish, and
okay, red.
Have red hair.
Okay, Carrot Top. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously my first answer is Viagra. Would be my first answer. But that doesn't work for me. The last time I took one, it got caught in my throat. I had a stiff neck for 2 days. So
yes.
That's
yeah. A word to anybody that might take Viagra, it might get stuck in your throat.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, that was a hard one to take.
No, do we have a sound effect? A little boing.
Boing.
All right, Lynn.
Oh.
Boing.
Boing, boing, boing. Well,
we have a low budget show, otherwise we'd have a person on sound effects.
Yeah, well, boing. I'm shocked. I didn't even know this was going to be a word this week, but boing.
Come on, Rob, let's roll.
I think I've heard a couple guys, make reference to the word boing in my life, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But anyhow, either that or never mind. Well, I don't even want to say that, but something about blue pills or blue something or else or whatever. I've heard that phrase too with the boing. I'm like, what? What do you? I was always clueless. It's just like before you wore padded bras. It's like guys would say, "Hey, why are you cold?" I'm like, I'm not cold. So it's one of those things. I used to hear the word boing and I didn't know what that meant for a long time.
It's amazing we all go to pills, though. I mean, it shows our age, right?
Well, it's funny that you say this now, because it's funny because I used to hear the word something about some blue somethings, right? And now they came up with a blue pill. So you can figure that one out. It's like, interesting. They had humor on that one.
Hey, when I was a kid, green M&Ms worked because that's what we believed made you horny. Now we just switched to little blue pills. All right, no big deal.
Yeah.
Chocolate versus what things do to your body.
There you go.
Boing, I'm out of there. I'm
Hey,
Lynn,
Lynn, I love how like, you go around like what you really want to say, and it's like what she really wants to say, she catches herself before she says it. Like that happened like 3 or 4 times in your explanation. Like, oh my God, I'm live. I can't go there.
Everybody's on the edge of the seat waiting for you to say it, and then you stop us.
I mean, Charles is, come on, he's ready to copy and paste that bad boy and put it in there. You know what I mean?
Well, put it this way, I didn't have the balls to say it, but I just did now. So yeah.
Okay, so
she went right for the low-hanging fruit there. Yeah.
When I think of Boing, it reminds I think of a new item that may be at an adult supply store that might attract women or guys, depending on what your flavor is. When I think of Boing, I think of a Slinky meets a porn store.
And that's why we have those pills, because nobody wants a Slinky associated with that part of your body.
Right. Well,
yeah. Already.
Remember, like back in the day when it's like, when they would demo a Slinky, they showed it like doing its thing down a set of steps.
Yeah.
This gives a whole new meaning to what I'm suggesting.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right, Lynn, this one is very poignant because it was created just for you. Lady Lip Lock. Lip Lock.
Thank you, Mr. Coachman, for that one. He just slipped that in the other night. And Lady Lip Lock. Yeah. I'll take ownership. I mean, I've kissed quite a few boys back in my day. And and so yeah, I was considered Lady Lip Lock back then. So now I meet Mr. Scott again. Hey, Steve, thanks for being here. So yeah, I'll just call Lady Lip Lock. I love kisses. What can I tell you?
So were you just trying out a bunch of guys to find out who would kiss the best, or was it just kind of like, hey, I want to?
No, I enjoyed kissing because after being sexually abused when I was younger, I had no interest in sex, but I definitely liked kissing. They couldn't touch my boobs, they couldn't touch my butt, they couldn't touch nothing because I beat them up. But yes, I taught a few guys how to French kiss, so I'll take ownership to that.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was really cool.
All right, so Mr. Lip Lock, please tell us about Lady Lip Lock. Who comes to mind?
Well, unlike Lynn, I did not kiss a lot of boys. No, homie didn't hang that way.
Yeah, but I love kisses because
no. Listen, I'm with you 1,000%. I think the kiss is the handshake that we should all share. I think kissing is like fantastic. It's like you can have this most incredible little kiss with your grandma. Just a simple little kiss, and it conveys so much love and so much tenderness. And then you can do this. It's not the same kiss. No, not the same. You could kiss somebody else and you could change the meaning of that kiss. I believe behind every kiss, there's like 1,000 different meanings. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I think the Lip Lock title, Mr. Lip Lock, Lady Lip Lock, and Lip Lock Jr. here in the corner, we could, we're teaching you, brother.
Yeah, I got it.
It is just such an electric moment, whether it's between a family member and it's just that peck on the cheek, or it's that deep lip lock. It's powerful. I mean, I can't say anything funny about it because I actually believe that it is so powerful, a kiss. And I've never kissed a bad kisser. Never in my life have I kissed a bad kisser.
Oh, good. Yeah, like I said, it was just awesome my senior year to meet him at the locker and give him a kiss. I mean, that's a treasured memory, and we would go about our way in our day. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I was the 8:10 kiss, and then around the corner was the 8:20 with someone else.
No, you were the only one that had that privilege at school, honestly.
I know I locked in my time slot. That's all I cared about. I'm not greedy.
Gary's confused. Lip lock junior. It's a new term.
Yeah. Yeah. No, or maybe Brian's a lip lock in training or something. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Yeah, Brian, you look like you've locked some lips in your time, my friend.
I cannot confirm or deny that statement.
Yeah. I don't mean that unfortunate super glue accident with the lip lock, but I'm talking.
Hey, I'm not Ralphie in A Christmas Story. Okay?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Now there's
look at Lynn. She's practicing all for us in her on the show right now.
That's a Syracuse lip lock. There's not anybody in Syracuse who hasn't stuck their lips or their tongue to a flagpole at least once.
I never did that.
So Scott, in your opinion, if she did the Syracuse, like what you just modeled for all of us, if she did that in Montana, what do you think would happen?
In Montana?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys got? Like moose or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what would come running. I don't know. I've never been to Montana.
Well, we know what Lynn might be shooting photographs of when she's on her trip. You know, like she's just going to be like, "What do you think?"
No,
those are only for sale. No.
Those are only for sale.
Yeah, we're not just giving them away. Come on.
No. You hone those lips.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So when I think of lady lip lock, I think of what Steve talked about the other day, that intimacy doesn't have to be sex. And I think that when you really want somebody and whatnot, there are other ways. And I think that how you use your lips and how you kiss somebody can really make them feel a certain way. And
Absolutely.
So it's all about the intimacy is that you can learn a lot about somebody and your connection with them just from a kiss. So.
Absolutely. Good job.
Okay.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. Thanks for being here. Yes. Welcome to the party, Scott.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. So whoever wants to take this one, but the phrase is, it blows my doors off.
Oh, we got that. Wow. It blows my doors off that you put that on this week. Holy shit. I'm going first, I guess. No.
What do you want to put time out to make Scott go, or do you want to continue?
No. It's just I thought it was just great because I love when Brian actually uses this phrase and says, "It blows my socks off" or "my doors off." And Ray's not even here to enjoy that. How about that? Maybe that's why you played it. No, just kidding. It blows my doors off that we're able to be so connected and yet so far apart. I mean, Scott's in Florida, I'm in Montana, and you're in Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. And I just love live streaming, and I just love how we can all be on the same level of like-mindedness and fun and impromptu. And so it just blows my doors off that soon I'll get to see Scott and you in different months on my journey. So I'm Lynn and I'm complete.
Yeah. Scott, she likes you better than me because you get to see her first. I get the leftover time when she's exhausted and ready to get back.
I actually lived in Wisconsin when I was a kid in Plover. I don't know if you know. Yeah, you know where that is? Yeah. When I was young. Yeah. I got attacked by a badger.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's not no, that's not.
I'll take the gators here in Florida over those badgers. Those are some nasty creatures.
Wow.
Blows my doors off, huh? Well, down here in South Florida, where hurricanes are a common occurrence, anything getting blown off is a bad thing. It's never good. The only time anything gets blown off is good is when you're on South Street in Miami, and I'm not going to talk about who you meet down there.
All righty then.
We don't want doors blown off here. We don't want windows blown open. We don't want socks blown off. But there are certain occasions where if you got $20, then it could be okay. I'm sorry. It's Miami.
That's where the infectious wood comes into play.
Well, don't take me there, Scott. Don't take me there.
Yeah, we don't want no infectious wood.
I never go down there unless it's like, a Tuesday, but I don't. No, it's not my scene. I
mean, wet wood is one thing. Infectious wood is totally like below.
Oh, no. You're raincoating everything. Nothing gets wet. Let me tell you, it's a bad thing.
You don't even want to wear shoes. You want to put like a garbage bag around you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That sounds like 42nd Street too.
Yeah, you go into this like CSI at a murder scene. You're covered head to toe. All right.
Wow! Look at that interesting couple. They're wearing biohazardous suits.
Yeah.
And it's 5 years after COVID. Nobody told them
So
COVID
it
was
blows
over.
my doors off, and those repetitive phrases that you're like, shit, I said it again. That became one of those. And then when Ray would pop in and comment about it or hashtag it, then it would make me say it more. So it's something I'm trying not to say as often because I'm not going through withdrawal of that statement. But when I think of it blows my doors off is when my point of view is different than others. But to me, it's like where logic meets. I just can't comprehend it. Like it's so obvious or so common sense, but it's a true expression when I get fired up about something, that I just can't believe people would act or do in that way. Now that's just my point of view. Does it mean it's a point of view of everybody? No. So that's where that statement came from. I don't refrain, Brian. It's great. So, okay, Lynn, this one is right up your alley again. Okay. So we're bringing in your Long Island nature. Okay. So love claws, not claws.
Yeah, love claws. It's like Santa Claus has his own claws, but if you have your claws as far as your rules and regulations. Hi, Scott.
Hey, Scott, another Florida guy.
Yeah, Scott Rickard.
Hey, Scott.
And so yeah, the clause is and I was saying don't bring out your claws. I meant that if you have a special love clause, like I said, I had a thing about kissing boys, but I had my clause, I had my rules, I had my this is how it's gonna go if it's gonna go kind of thing. So the love clause is knowing boundaries and knowing what's acceptable and what's not. And that's what love clause was to me. So and Scott, do you remember how bad of an accent I had when I first moved to Syracuse? I was so bad, my accent.
Yeah. Actually, I thought you were Italian.
Yeah, I know nobody knew.
I didn't know shit back then. I didn't know anything.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
But I thought everybody who had dark hair was Italian, so that was just me.
Okay.
Love clause?
Yeah.
Love clause. That's what I wish was written on the back of all of my marriage certificates was the love clause. Where if I didn't love you anymore, I get out. But I didn't have that, and I wish I did. I mean, there's outs and everything in this world. My very first marriage, which happened a million years ago, the first time I got married, I did have a small love clause. My brother actually wrote on the bottom of my shoes, "Help me." So when we knelt down in the church to get the whole thing, and everyone in the audience saw it, and it said, "Help me." That was my love clause. And trust me, I needed rescuing. Everybody needs a love clause.
Yes, Scott, I'm happy because I have my Scott here today. You got that right.
All right.
See what you said, everybody? My Scott. Love it.
Yeah, I'm claiming him before you get off the show, Brian, and you tell me I love Scott, and I'll be like, nope, I loved him first.
It's okay. Love is love. It's all good.
That's right.
It's all groovy. It's all groovy. And,
groovy kind of love.
I mean, he's in Wisconsin. I'm in Florida, and we could be more intimate than I was with my last two wives.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Brian, how about you?
So love clause, I think, is something that when you're in a relationship with somebody, it might not be a clause, but I think it's some kind of agreement, where one of the things that usually fails in a relationship is the physical attraction, right? And I think that it's something that when you're on the same page, as far as, somehow a discussion comes up as like when you're gonna, do intimate things and be with each other in that way. I think that it's not taboo anymore. I think it's something that you should, especially when one may want it more than another, whatever. But I think that there has to be an understanding as far as what that is, because otherwise then how do you determine when it is enough or not enough when you haven't defined what it is?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Sounds good. Listen, I always had that agreement with my wife. I said, if we're not in bed by 10 o'clock, I would come home to her. So it was
Oh.
And I also think, Scott, you touched on something that I think is really cool, is that like you never to go to bed mad, or you recap your day, so you have a little pillow talk, whatever that is that
Yeah.
works for a couple. I think to just tone down the day, make sure that you're always in touch with each other, is better than letting something run without those moments that you need with that person, if it's going to be sustainable. So
Right. Absolutely.
okay, so the next one, Scott, is we're going to go with wiggle wiggle. Wiggle wiggle.
Wiggle wiggle.
Look at Lynn dance right there with her head swigger.
Wiggle wiggle. That's what I started to do when I did not see that love clause on the back of the marriage certificate. I started to wiggle.
Nice, very nice.
No, wiggle wiggle. I mean, here's the thing. When I think of wiggle wiggle, I always talk to people about building dopamine and building adrenaline and noradrenaline, all the different chemistry in your brain. You need to feel good. And I actually talk about when I eat something really good, I actually start to dance in my chair. I wiggle a little bit, which is why I don't go out to dinner much, because, they ask me not to come back. It's very distracting for the other diners. But wiggle wiggle, I think wiggle wiggle for me, wiggle wiggle is just about just be free and feel things and kind of allow yourself to wiggle. Stop being so stern and so solid and so stoic, and just relax, and if you do it enough, then we can go back to talking about Boeing. But but no, wiggle wiggle for me is about who wiggles? Little kids. It's like, you ever try to pick up a baby, and when they wiggle, it's like that little baby goes from 7.5 pounds to 48 pounds really fast because they wiggle. Kids wiggle. Adults should do that too. We should just be more free. Wiggle, people.
Yay. I love you say that, because I love wiggling, and not only wiggling, just have wiggle room in anything I say or do, but I love the fact that wiggling just does make me feel really like a little kid. And I tried to stay in child play mode as much as possible, because it's just such a safe, fun place to be. And that's where the innocence was and can be whenever you want it to be. Being goofy and silly. Sometimes I'm just laughing at myself because like Brian says, sometimes I'm thinking of these funny things and I try to stop myself. But it's a great thing just to be yourself and to wiggle. And if I hear music, I'm just wiggling. I mean, it's just a great, it's not a word that we use every day as far as wiggle. So just wiggling and giggling is, I tell my grandkids all the time, wiggle. So
but we don't do it. No. We tell kids to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, come on outside with me. I got jumper cables. You hold on to those. I'll get my car battery. I'll teach you how to wiggle.
Trust me. I'll make sure you wiggle when I see you.
Oh.
Get some music on. Wiggle.
Okay, moving on. So is it my turn?
Yeah,
yes,
Brian.
your turn.
So wiggle, I think, is harmonizing in any conversation. Is that you're not making any split second judgments. You're not getting in your head about things. You're just bouncing from different things, but you're completing them. You're okay with where they are, and you're not. There's no negativity. There's no attachment. You just it's fun. It's playful, and you move on from there. And as Charles says, boing. So, that's a callback. I'm sure that'll have to be a new one for weeks to come, I'm sure. But I think when wiggle, when you take like the narrative of like dancing and you're just like you're in the groove and whatnot, and you're not aware of the world around you, take that and then like you bring in kids where like they'll paint themselves without being aware of judgments or how anybody's going to view them. And when you can just harmonize with the moment and just go where it is, I think it's one of the most peaceful places to be.
Well said.
Yay.
Being flexible and being adaptable is where you find the best things in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what wiggle is. It's about being free to adapt and change and do things and try things.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I think also whether it's the environments you've been in or the space you create in your mind, is that it's a safe haven to be. I mean, some people only find a safe haven at home or when they write or when they go on a boat or improv class or whatever, but there has to be whatever that is. And I think it's impossible to do without believing in yourself and having your belief system be so ungodly high that you're not going to be rocked by anybody's view of you.
Yeah. And not only that, to feel comfortable about people that allow you to be yourself, you know. And I mean, I again, it just reminds me when I first met Scott. You know, we just sat there and we just stared at each other and we just hung out. It was like the peaceful time, I think, in both of our worlds at the time, because then chaos started for us. We both started moving around in different places of town and stuff like that. But I mean, it was just a peaceful time, just sitting there and just being quiet and just being. And so it's really good to be around people like that, and I'm blessed. So,
okay, the next phrase, which I'll start, and then whoever wants to go after, is how risks can shape your life and shape your view. So how risks can shape your life and view. I think they're everything. You know, is if you don't take a risk, you still have one, and so why not? But it's impossible to take a risk when you're analysis paralysis. And so once that ball is rolling, it's better to take a risk, because, as Les Brown said, if you reach for if you reach for the stars and you fall short, you're still further than where you were. So we have a risk regardless. Why not take a big risk? And because then as time progresses, you become immune, and it's secondary that's just what you do. Subconsciously, you're taking risks all day, every day, and you want to do more of it. It lightens you up to be like, what else can I get out of myself? What else can my potential bring to me? So how risks can shape your life and shape your view. You have them regardless, so why not reach for them?
I love that. And risk, the risk of not taking a risk is something that really can stunt your growth, because the fact that we're talking about love this past week, and the fact that if you can't love everyone equally on a regular basis, and then you risk to show, I mean, if everybody sees you as love, and that's because you converted yourself to being a loving person and being in a happy place, and then somebody walks in that you still have problems with, and then all of a sudden people see that you're like, you got that kink and you got that stress, and they see a part of you that you're trying to either get rid of, or that is not of you. The problem is you're taking a risk of ruining everything that you're building today by holding back shit from the past. You should not do that. I mean, every day, every minute, we have an opportunity to be who we want to be. And when you're not focused in being who you want to be, you're allowing your foundation to crumble. And so there's a lot of risks. I mean, like, Scott met me, and he met me as Eileen. And that year, after things went bad, I decided I'm changing my name. I'm changing this and that. And it was focus of who I wanted to be and what I wanted to let go as far as shame, and move forward in my life. And so there was no room but to be the solid person that I wanted to be. And that was somebody that wasn't going to be in fearful or shamed or, tormented and things like that. So the risk of not taking chances to be what you want to be, and not what everyone wants you to be, is sad. It's sad when you don't do that, because you're limiting who you are and who you can help, and making yourself be happy is number one if you want to be happy in life. So I'm Lynn, and I'm complete.
Well, coming from where I come from, in the dark days of Scott's life, with being pickled in alcohol and drugs, and being in a very dark, bad place, everything was a risk. Getting up in the morning, because I created risks so I could create fear. I create fear so that I could stay put where I am and have an excuse not to grow, or not to move, or not to do things. And what I found out in sobriety and in recovery, when I started to rediscover who I was that the only real risk that I've ever got in my life is in not moving, is in not growing, is in not learning. That's the only real risk. Everything else is a perceptive risk. It's a risk that I assign. And if I truly look at things, and there is no real risk if I'm learning, if I'm doing. Things can go wrong, things can go backwards, things can happen, but I'm in the game. I'm no longer sitting on the sidelines with a bottle wondering why my whole life is disappearing. So the only real risk is in not taking risks. And risks are mitigated by attitude. That's all I can tell you.
Mm-hmm. Great job. Wow. Thank you.
Okay, Lynn, this is one from you earlier this week. Waterized, and in parentheses it says as a phrase, don't waterize who you are. So waterize is the word.
Yeah, that was my combination new word. That'll be in my new book of Lynnisms for sure. Waterize, yeah, like, waterizing who you are to fit the situation you're in is never a good thing, because you're not being authentic to yourself. You're not allowing yourself to truly be, like I just finished saying, you're not allowing yourself to evolve to the person you are meant to be and that you are, by watering down for the level of people that you're around. That's not how it should be. You should continue to let your light shine for those that still need that beacon of light. Because when you found your own light and your own purpose and just to be, it's really important to not waterize yourself to fit into a box. We should be outside the box. We should be who we are. And, whatever you think about, you bring about. So think of love, joy, and happiness. And those are the things you should think about. So you'll get more of those things, as opposed to always thinking of the life you left behind, because that's just a distant memory. And memories are good, but they're stepping stones to get you to be a better person and learn so much where you're at now. So I'm Lynn, and I'm complete. I say that on Fridays.
That's your word, Lynn? Waterize? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what my father used to discover when he went to his bar and opened a bottle of scotch. They were all waterized, thanks to me. But he knows now, and well, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. No, but really, waterize. I got to go with what you're saying. Is that not being your authentic self, to water down anything in your life. And that doesn't mean I have to go in and say, I say what I want and I do what I want. There's still kindness and there has to be consideration. And I have to, sometimes I have to come in and I have to ease myself into situations. But the truth is, if I look in the mirror and never forget who I really am, and if I could feel good that I didn't compromise myself, I am not waterized. I am complete. I am concentrated Scott.
Love it.
Excellent. So waterize, I'm just repeating what Lynn and Scott have said, is you're deluding yourself.
Yeah.
You're
and delusion and deluding yourself. Delusion
yourself.
Deluding. There's a new word.
Yeah,
you got deluge. I mean, deluge. That's also related to water, or a deluge. Yeah, depending on. I just think that you're inauthentic. You're watering it down. You're not bringing your full self forward, and you're being a disservice to yourself.
Absolutely.
Because in those moments where you have the opportunity to share what you feel, kind of like a kid in school that got embarrassed or whatever, if he's got a question, he's going to hold back because he doesn't want what might come to him if he has the wrong answer. Well, how does that work in real life, though? Are you going to regret those moments when you should have spoke up for yourself, or you did have a question, right? I'd rather be certain than to not know. So the waterize, and I think another piece of it is fake people. Is that when you can look at somebody and use your gut and use your instinct. I mean, if you get to know them a little bit better and you find out it's like, they might be a great person, but they're just not for me, right? You're able to remove that from your life if it's just, there's just something about them that's not authentic or not real.
Yeah.
Or they jump to the next person trying to get something versus who they can be for somebody. So,
Brian, you triggered something. I just got to share this, that I learned a while ago, that the risk of being wrong was much less than the risk of not being heard. Wow. So bring your voice out. I mean, being wrong, it can be painful sometimes, but it's nowhere near as painful as not being heard. So use your voice and be you.
Well, and I think it also points to a point of view, right?
Yeah.
Is that we all have a point of view, and it's like, I'm not as far as Lynn is in writing a book, but it's like you have a point of view, and if you're going to not bring that forward, it's as if you don't have a point of view at all. Yeah. Because you're not putting it out there. Now, is everybody going to agree with, what happened or how the book is written or how it looks or what? Of course not. But when you're comfortable with your point of view and you're going to put it out there, it really, the rest doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Scott, the next two-word phrase is Old Spice. Old Spice.
By Menon.
Oh, man.
I still love the smell of Old Spice because it reminds me of my grandfather. It reminds me of the Old Spice commercials with the sailor coming off of a ship covered in fish guts, and Old Spice covered that whole smell, and I love that, and it's beautiful. Listen, if you got $1.99 and you need to spend it on a scent, Old Spice is the way to go. It is truly a classic. And it doesn't smell bad. I mean, we poo-poo it, but I mean, I got my Aqua Velva, I got Old Spice, I've got those things. Those are stored away. When I run out of my Dakar Noir, then I go to it. And I love the Old Spice body soap too. By the way, it's more than just it's a whole lifestyle. It's because they give you the Old Spice will put it in a bottle. It will do your hair, your beard, your body, your butt, your feet. It washes everything. I brush my teeth with it. It works. All right.
I do too. It works out well. It's one less thing you have to shop for because it's all in one.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually I step into the shower. There's 48,000 products, and I'm asking her, what is this for? What is that for? Well, that's for this. And that's for when my hair's dry. That's for my hair's wet. This is for this. I'm like, holy crap. Geez, you need like a biochemistry degree to understand all the shower stuff.
This has got beta carotene.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Give me something in a big bottle. Smells like coconuts. I think I'm at the beach. I'm a happy guy. All right.
Exactly. What else do you want from me?
That's right. That's right. Old Spice. That's the way to go, people. Go back to Old Spice. So I don't need to smell like whatever scent that Michael Jordan came up with this week or somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So there's two things that come to mind about Old Spice. Is number one, I'm a loyal subscriber or customer to their deodorant and their 3-in-1, right? Because I want to be simple. And number two is I just can't get the soap out of the rope visual out of my head. Now, I don't know if it might have been Old Musk or something, but I swear it smelled like Old Spice, like the soap on a rope. And it's like after getting it for 5 years in a row as a little kid, it becomes a little old, as if like grandma bought 5 and she just gave you 1 per year.
What does that mean when your family buys you soap for Christmas? I mean, what is that? You open your stocking, you got soap, deodorant, and Altoids. What the hell did your family think of you? I mean, no wonder nobody sits next to you at the dinner table, right?
How did you know it? That's my Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
the sad thing is when that person doesn't take advice and they still smell the same. That's even worse.
Well, how about this?
Did you re-gift my gift?
Or how about people that I don't know, maybe this happens to you, but they just can't smell themselves. Like you're walking through a store or something like that. It's like, woo. There's a little fragrance that I really don't care for.
Well, how many people in this world discovered they had bad breath because of COVID with these masks? I'm walking around the store thinking, what the hell is that? And I'm like, oh shit, that's me. That's me. So I thought one day I'd hide it, and I actually poured like Listerine all over my mask and put it over my face and went into the store. I get about 4 steps into the store. My eyes start watering and tearing like I got bombed because it was burning my eyeballs.
You would probably pass a breathalyzer test if you would have taken one.
Yeah, really.
Oh, my God.
All right, Lynn, Old Spice.
That old school reminds me of my dad. They given it as a gift for my brothers so that they could smell like my dad. So hopefully I don't hug Scott when I see him and he reminds me of my dad, because that just won't, that won't be good. No, just kidding.
Oh. Mr. Liplock, I don't know if you can compare. Yeah,
no, just kidding.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to say one final word about Old Spice, and that is Brute.
Yes, by Fabergé. They had that in there to make it actually, it was actually made in like a toilet in Indiana, but they said Fabergé to make it sound.
Ooh, let's make it French, even though it's from Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Who want, hey, Musk? That really does that sound attractive to you?
No,
Musk. You smell musky. That's great.
Yeah. Wait a minute, isn't that a fish?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Well, and like they can charge a few extra dollars because it sounds fancy.
Yeah. Eau de toilette.
Yeah.
Really? Eau de toilette? Do they even understand the translation here in the United States? Eau de toilette? It's toilet water.
Exactly.
I get that shit for free. I don't need to go out and spend money on that.
Imagine somebody saying, "Ooh, you bought the eau de toilette because you could smell it for freaking 3 days, right? Because it's so concentrated,
Yeah. From the Michigan latrine.
Yeah, no kidding. From the fresh waters of Lake Michigan.
Yeah, because I've been at Milwaukee there on the pier, and I'm like, I heard how crappy that water from Michigan is pretty nasty. So it was pretty damn nasty.
I lived in Jersey, near the Jersey Shore. So, nasty water to us is fine. As long as you don't get stuck with a hypodermic needle, you're having a good day.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that smell? Oh, that's dead fish.
You need this cold. You need the spice over here to cover that shit. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We need some musk. The best smelling musk you've got. Okay, I don't remember this phrase this week, but it doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it, but we got to keep moving here. This has been great. Is sample man. Sample man is the 2-word phrase. Who wants to go? What comes to mind when I say sample man?
You sure you're reading your handwriting right?
Sample man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sounds like something you should try before you walk down the aisle, I like to sample that, man. And, I wouldn't mind sampling a few women, real, blow up, whatever it might take. Although I had one. And she came in the mail, and I blew her up, and we were having a great night. And I got boing, I got frisky, and I bit her on the neck. She farted and flew out the window. So I mean,
did she come with a name, or did you give her one?
That was no names. I don't like that. I don't like names. We don't look each other in the eye, and it keeps it very, very business.
What happened when she looked at you? Did you just tell her to look away, or did you?
Did you? Yeah, I just, I slid the mask up. We kept the COVID masks on the whole time. I just slid it up over us. No, but sample, man. I think we should sample people. I think we should sample friends. I think we should sample business people. I think we should sample people before we marry them. And if we ever get to the right point, we should sample kids and decide if we really want to keep them or not.
I want to test drive this child for a week.
Scott's favorite girl, Wendy.
Wendy. Hey, Wendy.
I don't know. That's Coachman came up with that. I don't know what Coachman meant by that.
What does he know about your blow-up doll?
I think he was trying to say windy.
Yeah.
Windy. It's a little windy. She flew out the window.
Sample man is sample. I don't know. Everything was just said. I don't know. Sample man. I don't even know where that came from. I think it meant to be simple man, but nope. Sample man would be sample it, man, because like see if you can get your money back. See if you get your money back, your life back.
Totally different conversation of money to the equation.
I think I'm thinking of the street in Miami you were talking about, Scott.
They don't give out free samples. I asked. They don't do it. They don't do it.
Well, I don't know what else to tell you.
I got to stick a big red and a lotto scratcher. What will that give me?
But a bump.
Yeah. It's only a year old. You want to go back and see if it was a winner? Okay, so sample man, the only visual that comes to mind is because I love to sample different craft beer. Big IPA hophead is I'm going to take like those boards that they give you with different size samples on them and replace it with a woman. Okay.
Alrighty then.
That's all I'm going to say. That's the only visual.
There we go.
And he said sample and a board. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, it's
lay a board down, whatever. Yeah.
It's my explanation.
I hear you.
It works. It works.
Big red. Scott said big red. Imagine that. Imagine like, welcome to the Big Red District.
Well, there is a red light district in California, and there's clothes there is what, because I mean, I know this because of lingerie, but yeah, there is a red light district in California. Right,
Really?
right, Charles? Right, Charles? Do you know that, Charles? Maybe you didn't because it's around LA. But anyways, go ahead.
We're not fancy down here. We just all the girls gather around the blue light special at Kmart. We pick them up there. So we don't got any red light district. We get blue light specials.
Gotcha.
You definitely know, like if it seems kind of desolate at a store, just do a blue light special, and you'll find out everybody in the store.
Yeah,
they'll emerge like, whoa, where'd everybody come from? Okay, the next one, Lynn, we're gonna go with you first because I'm curious about your response. Mr. Liplock. Mr. Liplock. Yours truly is with us, Mr. Liplock.
Oh man, Mr. Liplock. He's just. What can I say?
There it is. That's on the video right there. That's the video response.
Mr. Liplock, like I said, we've been, it's come full circle. We've had our own different lives, and he's just, he's just a lot of different loves to me. I mean, he's just a great guy, great friend. I mean, I couldn't even explain it because it's just, for me, it's a groovy kind of love. It's still written. It's still raw. It's still real. I'm just proud of where he's taken his life. I'm just proud that he's in a good place now. And I'm just thank God that we have, reconnected. And it's just nice when you get older to definitely be grounded with people that had a special place in your heart and picking up where we left off. And it's something that, it's just a different kind of groovy love, and I can't explain it except that I trust him, and I'm happy that he's here on my show and our show, and we have so many things we plan to do together. So I'm thankful that you're here too, Scott. So I love you. Thank you.
Well, I love you too, Lynn. I'm not, Mr. Liplock. It's, one unfortunate incident with two people who have braces that never should have kissed, and I'm stuck with that name. It was nice though. No, I mean, it is what it is. It's Liplock. I'm gonna let it go. Lynn already said it all, so I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah.
What comes to mind, Scott, is about Mr. Liplock is number one. It started off as Liplock, and everybody joked about it. But then you corrected us and said it's Mr. Liplock, So, well, I just what it reminds me of is just your playful demeanor with each other after all these years.
Yeah,
that you guys can be playful, you can be fun, but you guys can recall the past in the moments that you guys shared together.
Yeah.
Well, that's, and the Mr. came in. I mean, I'm a grown ass man and I should get some respect. So what else gives you respect in being called Mr. Liplock? And
I'm going to be on your show this Friday.
Yes. And it's a little better than my old name, Mr. Ass Kiss. And, but I don't do that anymore. So it's all good.
Okay. Okay. So here's the tried and true phrase that comes back. It's a callback every week. Okay. So, Scott, we already know what Lynn's answers are because she created this Lynnism. So I'm interested to find out when I say wet wood, what comes to mind? Wet wood.
Oh, a bad day at the shore. Wet wood. It just something in wet wood just doesn't make me confident as a man. It just doesn't. Hardwood. Why not hardwood? Why not big wood? Why not redwood? Big tree. No, wetwood. It's not good. I mean, exactly. Let's talk about the slinky again. It just doesn't. I actually cringe a little bit, and I've crossed my legs already when we say wetwood. It just makes me feel bad. It gives me really bad feelings.
Well, and we keep forgetting it really means no wet wood. I mean, let's yeah. Go ahead, Scott.
No wet wood?
Yeah, no wet wood.
But what did wet wood originally mean? I mean, I've only been watching you guys for a couple of weeks, and I love your show, but I never understood where it came from. Okay,
so basically, it means that when you're building your tribe and you're surrounding yourself around people, like a fire or a campground, campfire, you got people that will either bring your light up with better wood that'll spark the flame within you to be a really good fire within yourself. But if you surround yourself with people that will dim your light, they're wet wood. Don't put wet wood on your fire. So
Okay,
that's basically what it means. No, it's okay. So
there probably could have been better terms to use,
well, I was just saying, know what wood is allowed in your tribe to keep your light going. That's basically what it started out with.
Oh, okay. I got a group of guys. We all hang out together. We could be the penis posse. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of we could go a lot of different ways with this.
Yes.
But I like the explanation. I like it a whole lot better than all the stuff that went on in my head.
Right. So So I always say know what wood allowed is where it really came to, is because when they go through things in life, their light is almost dim to nothing. And what they need is good kindling. They need to be around good kindred spirits, people that can start flaming some kindle to them so that they could see their own light and that they can flourish. And when people are surrounded by doom and gloom people that keep their ass down, it's dimming your light. So I say no more wet wood, get the right wood around.
Rub a little Old Spice on it, it'll dry it right out.
Oh, yeah. or make you go get professional treatment at the hospital. You're like, I'm sorry, but I must have did something wrong. I need your professional attention.
Look how red you look. Oh my God. Look how red you look. It's so funny.
Beautiful.
I got to talk to JR. That's my lighting because I don't look nothing like
this.
Anyhow, so when I think of wet wood, I think of a limp garden hose.
Another image. Thank you. No sleep tonight.
It's kind of like it's only 2:00. We got some time for another one to come. It's the difference between like a residential garden hose and like something that they would use for the firefighting department.
Scott, can you get an appointment with your therapist before tonight?
Yeah. It's like, Brian, I'm thinking of garden hoses and it's 9 p.m. Like, okay.
I don't know. We brought up so much trauma. I'm just going to cry myself to sleep anyway. It's okay. I got a big pillow. I can handle it.
As long as it's comfy, it's okay.
There you go.
What did Charles say? We got our final two phrases here. What did he say? Be unapologetic when it comes to wet wood. Bring big blue. Oh my gosh. We might have some fun with that big blue. Anyhow, so the one of the final two phrases before we're out of here is it's there. It's hair. It's there. It's hair.
It's there. It's hair. It's everywhere.
Okay.
Don't dare. Just stare at the hair everywhere.
Okay. So
what the hell did I miss this week?
All right, Lynn, keep going with that.
Hair is there. It just was something. I don't even know how I started that yesterday, but I started with the hair is there and everywhere. Just telling you I shed, so don't be surprised I leave hair at your house. I don't know.
Nice.
Lynn silences the crowd. We have Scott Stephenson shaking his head.
There's nothing I could say that's actually going to sound good to anybody. I mean, I could start singing some show tunes from Hair. I mean, I don't know. It's there. It's hair. It's everywhere. I mean, you know what? Here it is. Bear yourself. There's hair. It's there. We're everywhere. Just bear yourself. Nobody ever in this life is ever going to harm you more than we harm ourselves by holding back.
Amen. I love you.
So Scott. Be hairy and scary.
Yeah.
But one of my love clauses is a hairy back. I'm just going to tell you right now, it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Thank God, because I don't got a hairy back.
What? Lynn, you don't have a hairy back?
Well, there's hair on my back, I guess, right there.
Okay, man, I thought you had a hairy back.
Oh my God!
I had an uncle who used to go to the beach. People thought he was wearing a sweater. It was just, oh my God! It was
all natural. That's all natural.
That's all. Yeah, that's all natural. Yeah, when you start braiding your back hair, it's time to stop, Bob Marley. Thank you very much.
Either that or he's got a pick through it and it like he can't get it out.
All right, Brian, get going. We got to get going.
Okay, so yeah, it's there. It's here. The arousal of body parts when least expected. It's there. It's here. Like,
Boing.
you give it an audition or something, and it was totally unexpected. Okay. Wow, this hour has cruised by.
Wow. Oh my gosh. You guys.
Okay, so bad taste in your mouth. Bad taste in your mouth. We're going to end with this one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good Lord.
The bad taste in your mouth. It doesn't have to be that way. Just gargle, rinse, and repeat if you need to. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
All I'm going to say is wet wood.
Boing. Boing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, lip lock. Thank you so much for being here, Brian and Scott. This has been fun. Go ahead, Brian. Your turn.
when I think of that, it's nothing more than I just forgot what I was going to say.
Well, then that's a good place to stop.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, though.
What I was going to say. Thank you. What I was going to say is bada bada boom. Okay, so when bad taste in your mouth, what comes to mind is that you're the one creating it. Is the taste coming from you or something that's affecting you? What are you doing to manifest that versus it not being there and you're making it up?
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, the list of songs. You'll have to put that in the comments, Brian.
Hold on. I got it right here. I'm going to hit click and it's going to be in the group. So we had our resident mixologist or musicologist actually put in his favorite list of love songs this week. And so he gave me 10 and it should be in the chat in the chat for everybody. If you want to go down a music rabbit hole this weekend, feel free to check out those songs right from Charles Coachman.
All right, you guys stay right there. Thank you everybody for being here. Have a great, safe weekend and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye everyone.
Bye.